in this video, I'm going to cover how to launch all the core services using Cloudera Manager, and we'll do some troubleshooting and so forth. So in the part two of this video series, you have successfully launched Cloudera Manager. So um, if you go to Hadoop UI, uh, using that same port 8888, you should get this. Whereas if you go to Cloudera Manager's port, you should get a login prompt with this confirmation, say agree to, and then what you do is you log in using Cloudera credentials. This is the default credentials Cloudera provides. So when you log in, what you see here is directly dependent on the size of the mission and the size of the cluster that you have. So for this demo, I'm only using a simple mission with only two cores, and the amount of GB I have RAM I have is less than 14 GB. So I'm gonna get a lot many more notifications like this than typically you would if you were to use a bigger machine. Okay, but let's ignore those notifications. I just want to show you how to start all the services. So by default, when you log in, this is the dashboard view, and here you have this drop down menu. When you click on this arrow, and if you click on start, it gives you an alert saying that, would you like to start all the core services. So just go ahead and click start. At this point, Cloudera Manager is going to start all the core services. In the meantime, while it's launching, if you go to the Hadoop UI, obviously it's going to show that it's not reachable. But once we have all the services successfully started using Cloudera Manager, you'll be able to access Hadoop UI. While this will take a few minutes, I'm going to pause this video and I'll restart the video once all the services are up. Okay, so I have successfully restarted all these services, but as you can see, there are quite a few health issues here. All these are, some of them are critical, some of them are not, and in my situation, majority of them have come about based on the size of the machine I'm using. Since it's a demo machine, it's such a low memory. So you are seeing all these health issues. But if you are doing this in a production environment, you should not see majority of these. Okay. So for the time being, let's not worry about these. We just want to make sure that Hadoop UI is up and running. So as you can tell, when I click on this, I see the only options I have are stop and restart. That tells me that the Hadoop UI is up and running. So whether we don't know the health of that, but at least we know that Hadoop UI is running. Similarly with Impala, if you see Impala, there is a start option that tells me that Impala has not started automatically. And again, the reason for my situation could be that because of lack of memory or too many services running, that could be the reason. And for you, Impala might have started without any issues at all. So don't go by what you're seeing here in the video, but when you're doing your own development or deployment, the results could be drastically different. For example, HBase looks like it started well, no problems, no issues, right? So let's just to test it out, let's go into Hadoop UI and see if we are able to access the page now. So there you go. And so now I'm able to access the Hue page. So I'm gonna try to log in using the Cloudera credentials. And as soon as I log in, it does checking configuration settings. Sometimes you will have errors here. Sometimes again, based on the errors, you can go debug those errors and fix those errors. And in this case, looks like everything passed well and the configuration check passed well. So at this point, what we have done is we have using Cloudera's Cloudera Manager, we are able to start some of these core services. So that's kind of what we did. So as you can imagine, as you can see, the difference between this and the previous version is the previous version CD8 started the default Linux, the Hadoop services started on the Linux, and then we went into Cloudera and started Cloudera Manager. And when we started the Cloudera Manager, all those default services were shut down, and Cloudera Manager did not restart them. So we would have to go. Then what we did, we went into Cloudera Manager's UI, web UI, and started them by clicking here and clicking start, right? So there you go. So that's the end of this. And similarly, let's say if there are times when one of these services may not start. For example, Hue or Impala, if it doesn't start, and if you are about to do some Impala, if you are about to use Impala services, then you would either restart it or start it. In this video, I'm not going to show you that. I just want to show you how to start and restart these services and do a little bit of troubleshooting when you have some errors and issues and so forth. So in the next video, we'll go into some of these health issues. For example, clock offset and few others. I'm going to go over some of those videos, some of those issues. But for the time being, I'm going to wrap up this video as part 3 for you to sort of get a sense of how things can be started. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.